This is topical issues session once more, and today I'm going to talk about a subject that is paranormal. I managed to gather it in my experiences with what has been happening to me, conversations, and others going through the internet, and also from stories I've heard from people. Today's topical issue is titled The Frigate Bird and Sea Eagle Activities. Destiny Stealers, or in the East African occult, they call it star, which is in English, it could be nyota, but tunga is formation in Kiswahili. So they call it star formation or destiny stealing. As I was telling you before, and I've been telling you, many of us have learned to look at this world from the five senses that we know. But this world is not the way we see it. I did not believe that such a things can be possible. When activities of witchcraft and these other activities that I've been following, hacking and all that started, I had to move from the town I was to this other town, and there was still a follow-up of the same. I think it's the same group or something like that. And there was a time when they used to have sessions and they would talk of TUNGA. And in English, I know TUNGA is a water antelope. So I wonder, what is this TUNGA? Eventually, they kept talking about TUNGA, how to effect it, and I realized what they were talking about. They were talking about stealing of the destiny. Sometimes when one tells you, it looks like fiction, like somebody is losing his mind, but that is the reality. From the conversations, this is what I gathered. Any star can be stolen. They have people called diviners, but I think these are the same people that we call prophets when you cross over, because there appears to be a thin line spiritually between the dark and the light. So when those who profess Christianity and other religions have got prophets, to them they have got diviners. And it goes down the line that way. Many of us in the Christian religion and in the mainstream religions are very naive. We think that once we say a few things here and there, everything is over. You finished everything. Yes. If you have faith strong enough, that's why I talk about faith. You can be able to fight some things without even knowing them. But when the faith is not that strong, these are certain things that happen. These people, and also those also in churches, because there are some people who tell you your virtues. You've gone to some churches and somebody is able to give you your history from childhood without having been told by somebody. It is possible. It's not that they have gotten it from somebody else. There are those abilities to see in the past and to see in the future and to see the capabilities of a person. So for those in the dark, if they see capabilities and you're not aligned to them, the next thing they do is they can steal that capability through rituals. That's, for instance, you would have been a big military officer. You end up doing something of taking care, but not even in a company, just something like that, a useless thing, resembling what you would have done. You may have found that there are certain people who, when you look at their competence, it's not as per standard as they're supposed to be in a career. But they carry on because others were able to get destiny through rituals, through demonic activities to them. So in life, as we go on, you have to know that sometimes when you have a bright destiny, it can become a problem to you. I'll give an example of what I saw on the video. This one is in the video, so I don't have to say that I'm prying into somebody's private life. There is the Tanzanian musician, and I'll not go with the name, and she had been under demonic attack, occultic attack, and all she was saying was, the one in charge of me wanted to steal my star so that they give it to another girl. Star is the destiny. So destiny stealing is possible. Destiny exchange is possible. That's what I gathered over the long time, because to me things have gone on for a long time. It's now that they are subsiding a bit, but they've gone on for a long time. That's why I've got so many experiences to give. I know some of you are wondering, how is it that this thing happened to this guy and again this thing? It's something that has gone over a long time. About 8 years, close to 10. So they can steal your destiny. And destiny is stolen in several ways. Normal copulation. Those who have seen something in you can be able to do that, and they get it through transfer. Things that you go to the occult, maybe you want something to be done for you, you want to find the future or something like that, still your destiny can go that way. There are others also who pause in churches, and activities like praying for you, they hold your head and do many things, and in the process you find that things have suddenly turned the other way. You are having a straight life, a smooth life, and things take a bad turn. There are others who are able to get your destiny, because in witchcraft people are able to effect things spiritually through your dreams. So be very careful about your dreams. Do not take them for granted. You can get from the internet interpretation. You can get from, maybe if there's somebody who is spiritually strong, who has got that ability of interpreting, please let your dreams be interpreted, because that is the way that some people lose their destiny. There can also be a destiny exchange. This happens in small children. I didn't know what used to happen, but traditionally in our place, there used to be a time when a child would be born and the child would keep crying, and then the elder people in the family will tell you, now, what we're going to do is try naming the four parents or the people of the past. And you call a certain name and a child stops crying. From that time, no more crying. But what you come to realize later, that this child has got capabilities of that past person. You find a person who can be able to tell riddles that people of the present age do not know, behaving in characteristics like the other one. If there were vices in the other person's life, same vices following him. I've come to understand from the spiritual perspective, from the occult perspective, that the very same spirit can oppress a person to relive the life in a person. So that is when a spirit is suppressing the very spirit in the young person's life, and that person will live in the shadow of this spirit. Characteristics, everything, the way the other one used to act. There are others who also go for exchange to the people who practice the dark arts because there are those abilities. They can go to exchange your destiny, or they can go to suppress your destiny so that it does not work. They don't get it themselves, but it does not work for you either. So you find you had a good start, like you've had cases of where you see there are other children who are genius. Many of them rarely end up well. They were very clever in the lower sector of education. Suddenly they can't advance to the secondary, or when they advance, everything goes awry. They end up in drugs. They end up in characters that you cannot, their destiny becomes nothing. Those are things that can be interfered with that way. There are also curses of the past that are able to be passed through generation. So there are times when you are not spiritually strong. What may have been put to your father can be able to inhabit you or your mother. There is also the careless talk, especially of people who are responsible for you, your mother and father. It can spiral downwards your destiny. So, from what I gathered, there are those who steal destinies. There are others who kill, and they're able to trap the destinies. It's a complex thing. There are things that, when you are told, they appear like fairy tales. But that's the reality of occultism and the spiritual realm. They happen. So there are times when people are physically killed through witchcraft, throughout the activities, so that that destiny, before it's able to escape to some other places, is trapped in an occultic manner, and it works in somebody else. That's why I've been insisting. You may be a Christian, you may be a Muslim, you may be somebody from any other religion. They talk about these things, take them seriously, be strong in faith. Because even in Christianity, it used to be Jesus will answer your faith. Your faith has done that. We go to things like the Ramayanas. You find Hanuman had a lot of faith. His faith. There was a time when he was able to move a mountain and throw it at the enemies. His faith. Also, when you get to the Gita, the same thing applies. When you go to Sikhism, the same thing applies. They call faith Gumuk. There was a movie we watched, Gesare, and there was the person who went down last, the young boy who was naive to war, and in the crucible of war, he went down in a pyre. Pyre is burial. When the Indians are burying people, they put wood and you put there and they burn that. That's called a pyre. Because I know some people may think I'm talking about a fire pronunciation, but we also have those types of pronunciation. Gumuk in that movie was a good example of faith. With faith, everything is possible. So this is something I would like you to know. Many people talk about it and people take it for granted, But it is possible. It is possible. Your destiny can be altered. Your destiny can be snatched. It may be snatched in places you don't expect. It can be snatched at the occult place or the magic place you go to, those altars. It can again be snatched from the altars of the church or sometimes the pulpits. There are some people who are in the business of Christ, but they are there for different purposes. But when you have a good preacher, a good person who is leading you in religion, if you go for religion, but in most cases, I prefer you first put yourself first, because Jesus says you are a temple. There are capabilities of those kind, both in the dark places and both in the light. So when you hear your destiny can be stolen, don't take it for granted. When you hear your destiny can be suppressed, don't take it for granted. There are other factors you will also find out. You can search that in the internet, search in other places, find out, because these are realities. That is my take for today.